Marvel fans, I think it's time to place our bets on who's going to be the cause of the Midnight Marvel Universe. Hi, I'm Jordan the Nerd of Gold, and what I mean by this is if we look at the Ultimate Universe, the current alternate universe outside of the main one, the maker was responsible for shaping this universe into what it is. And I think Marvel could use a similar plot construction to the Midnight Marvel Universe, so that way there is a cause for this universe to exist and it just doesn't exist on its own. So that being said, I think there are 4 basic options looking at Marvel right now and how that could be. So let's start with them. 1, Philip Kennedy Johnson is going to be working on Midnight Spider-Man. He is also working on the Infernal Hulk title, which started out with the Incredible Hulk, and the Incredible Hulk was exploring ideas related to Al Ewing's Immortal Hulk title from a few years ago, in which the Hulk is tied to the one above all, and his Hulk the one below all. In the Incredible Hulk by Philip Kennedy Johnson, he introduced the Mother of Monsters and her daughter, the Eldest, and how they tie into the larger monster mythology of the Earth 616, and how the Eldest is using the Hulk's body in Infernal Hulk, which is going to lead to an event, Infernal Hulk War, later this year, and somehow all the monster mythology, the Hulks being tied to the one above all and the one below all, I can see them all being tied together in some way that creates a new universe. What this universe is, we still don't know, or how exactly the story works out to create this new universe, I don't know. But I can just see the seeds being planted there, and they could be sprouting out into Midnight Marvel, to keep the metaphor going. I think that's just one possibility. The second possibility is that Jonathan Hickman is coming back to working on X-Men. Now, I think that we can tie this back to Krakoa somehow, because Moira had multiple lives. We don't know what she did in every one of those lives when Hickman was writing her, but then Gillen later had Mr. Sinister create multiple clones, the Moira engines, where he was able to manipulate time to try to create his own ideal universe, which landed us in the Sins of Sinister universe and all that. But there's still more information from there that we don't know, and that could still result in the Midnight Marvel universe. I don't know exactly how that would work, but I think it would have to do more with the Moira engines than it would with Hickman's original 10 Lives of Moira on that front. But I definitely see, if Hickman is working on X-Men, I can see a tie to that part of Krakoa, that part of X-Men history, resulting in the Midnight Marvel Universe. Now, exactly how that works, I don't know, but I'm just saying I can see a tie between point A and B on that front, and we'll see if that's true or not. Next on the list, we have Avengers Armageddon by Chip Zdarsky coming out, which I think is going to be a soft reset for the Marvel Universe, not in the sense that any continuity is going to be changing, but in the sense that Marvel is going to have a new core book of an Avengers title that's going to come after this event. But in the Free Comic Book Day, we got to see that the Red Hulk is messing with technology in Latveria, specifically time travel technology that is giving him an advantage over the Avengers, and they need to take him down. But messing with time could split into an alternate timeline, and considering Doctor Doom was in control of Latveria, I think there's a possibility that something tied with Blood Hunt and the magic that kept vampires out could affect how the time travel machines work in Latveria, and then that results in a timeline where there's more vampires than not. I don't know exactly how we get there between point A and B there, but I can see a path being possible between those 2 points. So I don't think that one's quite as likely, but it is possible. Then next, we also have the Queen in Black event that's coming out. Now, this one is the least tied into it, but considering the dark forces that we are messing with, Tip Null and Hela on that front, I do think it's quite possible that they do something that messes with time or the fabric of the universe in a way that results in a new universe being born. Now, I think this is perhaps the least likely time, just because Al Ewing isn't working on Midnight Marvel. None of the artists in that are working over there, and also just those characters don't seem to be tied directly, even though they are kind of horror themed characters, being the Goddess of Death and the God of the Symbiotes from the Darkness on that front. So I can see there being a possibility there. I just don't see it necessarily being directly connected, but it is possible. Now, that being said, I kind of hope that none of these possibilities are true, and it's just a universe, and that way we get just to tell stories. We don't have to worry about some giant cosmological fear driving all these characters. It's just the conflicts in the books, because I think that would be fun. But I do think that Marvel loves to copy things, and that way they're going to copy what happened with the Maker in the Ultimate Universe and have someone be responsible for the Midnight Marvel Universe. I don't know who it's going to be, but let me know. Who do you think it's going to be?